The game is Tempest Rising. It's a RTS game set in an alternate timeline, 21st century Earth. One where the Cuban Missile Crisis led to World War III between the East and West superpowers. After the war, the West became the Global Defense Force, or GDF. The East became the Dynasty. Here in Round 1, we have the GDF developing their base in the Netherlands. Their objective is to terminate the Dynasty command located in this sector before the Dynasty forces can do the same to the GDF. For the GDF, the standard build order involves constructing a power plant, refinery, barracks, and vehicle bay. The GDF also built a second Tempest harvester vehicle to complement the harvester which came with the constructed refinery. This would increase Tempest harvesting operations. The GDF built a base defense that consisted of Gatling turrets and infantry armed with drones. The idea was to build a low-cost deterrence force so that the majority of funds could increase the base and factory tech levels. This in turn would allow the GDF to build sophisticated combat units. However, the low-cost defense force proved insufficient at stopping the Dynasty's assault. Enemy forces easily overwhelmed the GDF base's defenders. The GDF strategy to prioritize teching up resulted in a quick loss.
Constructing.
Combat ready.
Doctrine researched.
In Round 2, the GDF continued with its teching up strategy. However, the base defense focused on increasing the number of Gatling turrets. The thought process was, there were insufficient numbers of turrets to mount an effective defense. Walls were also constructed to help stem the tide of enemy forces from charging into the heart of the base. However, the base defense improvements proved to be insufficient again. The Dynasty attack force used air units. The GDF turrets were easily overwhelmed and unable to contend with enemy land and air units attacking concurrently.
Sir, yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Construction complete.
On your command! Line them up! Moving out!
Construction complete. Constructing.
In Round 3, the GDF replaced its turret defense with a mobile force consisting of missile-armed jeeps and tanks. The thought process was, it would allow the GDF to create a defense force that could rapidly redeploy along the enemy's threat axis. Air units were produced to supplement the mobile defense force. They were versatile enough to counter both enemy land and air units. With this improved defensive posture, the GDF base lasted longer than it did during the first 2 rounds. However, the Dynasty force eventually overwhelmed the GDF mobile defense force.
Structure upgraded.
Targeting! Line them up!
Unit ready.
Targeting!
Unit lost.
Line them up!
Unit ready. Base is under attack.
round 4, the GDF built structures that were proprietary to them alone. Watchtowers. These defensive emplacements were strong defensively, even more so when garrisoned with infantry armed with drones, which the GDF commander did. While the watchtowers mounted an admirable defense, even they eventually fell to a determined dynasty assault. The situation looked bleak for the GDF.
Ready to roll.
Units under attack. Unit lost.
In the final round, the GDF focused on developing a mobile force which primarily consisted of heavy tanks. It did this at the expense of developing base turret defenses, which proved to be much weaker than that of other games.
Ground control. Watching the skies.
This time, the GDF fended off multiple dynasty assaults while keeping its own casualties to an acceptable level. This was important as the GDF was preparing its own counterattack against the dynasty base in this sector.
Unit ready. Unit is under attack. Unit lost. Unit is under attack. Base is under attack.
During its counterattack, the GDF heavy tanks tore through the dynasty's mobile force, which had been depleted through multiple failed assaults against the GDF base. The dynasty-based defenses proved to be equally worthless, much like their GDF counterparts.
Unit is under attack.
Shield maiden standing by. Moving to descent. Tracking target. I'll take him.
Base is under attack.
After 4 rounds of combat, victory came to the GDF as its heavy tanks pounded the dynasty construction yard into rubble.